Oh, hello. Nice to see you again. It's that time again where we go through the miniatures that have been submitted in the correct place on the Discord, and I will give you some feedback. Everybody loves the Discord community showcase. So we're going to start with Major Tom's various Mandalorians. These are pretty topical. So Mandalorian season 3 just finished like last week. I'm like a mid-tier Star Wars guy, right? So if it's live action, I've watched it. If it's one of the cartoons, then and if it's a comic book, I don't even know it exists. So I think these are probably specific Mandalorians. Don't know, but they look really cool. I love all the freehand that Major Tom's got going on, especially on the one we got 2 shots of down the bottom there. There's a load of freehand there on the helmet. I don't think any of that sculpted detail. We got a load of freehand on the breast plate. We got a load of freehand on the shoulder pad as well. I'm sure these are supposed to be lore accurate to something, and I'm just not informed enough to know what they're lore accurate to, but they have that look of something that's been painstakingly kind of copied from something somewhere. So that's really cool. It could be they're not, and they're like a custom Mandalorians, and that's cool as well. Like, if you can have custom chapters of Space Marines, right? So why couldn't you have a custom culvert of Mandalorians somewhere out there, elsewhere, just chilling, and then turning up on your tabletop? Star Wars, even though it's a massive galaxy, it doesn't have the, it's a big galaxy and everything's out there somewhere kind of thing that 40k has going on, which is one of its downsides, in my personal opinion. So these are more likely to be screen representation of something that's been on the screen. But either way, we can admire that they are really, really, really good paint jobs, really skillful. Major Tom, I still don't like your bases. I'm going to keep kind of bullying you about them until you change the way you do them. But apart from that, the miniatures, really amazing. And the guys in the middle, I've only put a really small picture in, because there's so many slides of Major Tom photographs. This was in danger of becoming the Major Tom kind of review for like half an hour. But those Mandalorians in the middle, especially the one, hang on, let me get my laser pointer out here. This is freehand as well, isn't it? This isn't sculpted detail on this mask. That looks really good as well. They're just really good, man. Really, really good. If you're really proud of them. Really, really proud of them. Do you know what else I don't like about the bases? I don't like, right, this is going to be such a stupid comment, I don't like the plastic bases that they supply with Star Wars Legion stuff. They just look weird. We got more Major Tom Star Wars stuff. He really does do a lot of, he's very prolific, and he posts a lot in the Showcase channel as well, because he wants it all reviewed. I really like Cad Bane, right? That's this guy, right? Which I know now because he appeared in a live action show, right? But I like the boots. There's some really good highlighting on the boots here. And there's, on the trousers as well. And the purple trousers are really cool. So, yeah, I think they look really good as well. The Rebel guys are cool. I mean, weirdly, the photograph decided that the main focus was the escape pod. And sensibly, he's obviously done a dry brush or a wash or something on the escape pod and painted it quite quickly. And I feel like the actual figures are out of focus there. But Cad Bane's really, really cool. Love the boots on Cad Bane. Love the trousers, the trench coat. Oh, really, really good. Really, really good. Major Tom also gave us these, because I think he's a bit of a, I don't know, he doesn't like to paint a lot of Warhammer. He does have some Warhammer in this, in fairness. But I don't really know what these are. I think Telltale is a board game. I looked it up. But apparently these little robot guys are tiny. I don't know what the board game is where you have robots fighting a dinosaur, but apparently that's the thing. And there's some really nice freehand going on here and here. Yeah, I like them. The paint does look a bit kind of chunky on the yellow and the white, but I think half the problem is these are really tiny, so they're really, really zoomed in. And probably a lot on the tabletop, they look really, really good, especially with this freehand. The freehand's really good. And the freehand on the back of the dinosaur as well. Yeah, you didn't need to do that, but you did, and it looks awesome. So, great job. And the freehand on the base, like the no waiting line. Really good. Really, really good. Last slide from Major Tom, because he actually did some 40k. I really like his White Scars Possessed. That's a really awesome concept. I don't really know why there's a White Scars Possessed, but there clearly is, and that's great. I love the paint job on the exposed demonic flesh. I think keeping it flesh-coloured rather than the more common, like, red colour. It really bold choice, but really good choice. Really pays off. Really looks really cool. He looks really unhealthy and evil, but also really strong and powerful. I think it works really well. I think doing the kind of classical red devil flesh, your eyes almost gloss over it, but the fact that this is more traditional fleshy colours, it really makes your eyes examine the sculpted detail that's there and that Major Tom has picked out, so that's really good. The white's gone a bit funny. The white's so hard, and it's the same on the Pathist of the Orc. The white's just a bit, yeah. But I'm not going to belabor the point every single time, but really, really great job on the flesh tones there. I love this. This is an Imperial assassin from the old days before before the assassins were from various temples. There was just the Imperial assassin, and doing a model that's all black like that and getting definition into it is really hard, and you can actually see all the definition, all the highlighting that's gone on there, so that's really good as well. I love the classic bit of brass razor wire on the base. That's quite fun. I would say drill the barrels, but then on a miniature this old, is drilling the barrels actually a bad thing now? Because the model itself is a collector's item. Not sure. And then we've got to talk about the orc. An orc with black skin, coal black skinned orc, is interesting, and it works. Have you done your whole Commandos kill team like this, Tom? This is a really good piece. Obviously, I have some issues with the white on the power claw, but apart from that, the rest of the miniature is really, really good. Really, really good. Really, really bold choice to deviate from the law there, but I think it works. It works. You see a few orcs with different colours. I think that's the one thing you must never do with orcs, of course, is, I don't know if you've seen this, sometimes people paint orcs with human skin tone. They look really, really, really creepy. If you don't believe me, go and Google human skin tone orcs. But the jet black orc, yeah, that's pretty cool. Right. So we finally graduated from the five slides of Major Tom stuff. Johnofavourite or Johnofavourite, not sure. These are amazing. These are one of those sets of miniatures where you look at them and you go, they're cool. And it's not until you actually stop and really look at them that you realise how cool they are. The faces on these are really, really good, right? And if you want to look, join the Discord, you find a high-res photograph. The faces on these are really, really astoundingly good. Okay, the bases as well. He's got his mud layer. He's got some rocks going on. He's got some tufts. He's got some snow. The bases have a lot going on, and they look really good and realistic. The weathering, look at the toe of this boot. Right, look how realistic that looks. The weathering these got going on, the rust. You don't often see that on Space Marines, and I know technically it's wrong because Space Marine armor is ceramic effectively and not metal, but it looks so good, I don't care, right? This armor's clearly metal and it's clearly going rusty, and that's amazing. And look at this knife. There's some really good detail there as well. And the highlighting, but then there's not just a highlight line like I would do it. It's there's some feathering there, and that looks really, really good. I always try and give some feedback, what went well, even better if it's the teacher in me. I think that's why people like some in their models, because I do try and be honest with them. The only feedback I can give is these deserve a better set of photographs, the studio photograph treatment, on a plain background, so they can be fully appreciated. Apart from that, the miniatures themselves are superb. Well done. You feel really proud of those, John. And now Gimac. Now this on the left is a real treat. All Gimac stuff is good, but this model I feel is really elevated. This looks like a painting. Look at the banner. Look at the fabric on the banner. I was just staring at the fabric on the banner for 5 minutes. There's so many highlights and little blends and the shade going on. That's really, really good. Look at the weathering that's around every single individual stud. Look at the eye. I just paint eyes white and then put lenses. I just paint them white and put some kind of wash or contrast on them. They've gone full on hand painted eyes with a little reflection point there and a dimmer highlight there. Look at the thing. Look at the bolter with its little button on there, little red button on there to release the clip. Look at the weathering on the side here, the chipping. Really, really good. Look at the nozzle on the backpack and the brown residue that's collected in the recess there as well. Really, really lovely. Really, really lovely. I love the Death Guard. I've never really looked at the Plague Flail. Is that a stock part of the Plague Flail? That Nurgling? Because that's hilarious. So well done, Games Workshop. Or if it's a conversion, well done, Gimac. But that's great. Really bold choice for these. The colour-wise, really different from the classic Games Workshop colours for Death Guard. It's neither the kind of snot green colour of 40k nor kind of the off-white colour of 30k. Really good colour choices. Yeah. And then he's got this terrain up here. The terrain's a bit simpler. It is only a small picture. Again, Gimac submitted a lot, and I've tried not to give him too many slides. But yeah, the terrain's a bit simpler, but he's done a really good job with the airbrush of making it look really, really effective and smart, like a sort of synthwave Space Hulk there. I bet that will look really good as a whole table of that stuff laid out. Will look really, really amazing. Really good stuff, Gimac. We got some more from Gimac. We got some orcs. I love these orcs, man. Look at the weathering on this armour. Like, properly stop and look at the weathering on the armour for ages and all the little crosses and the random patterns. And look at it on here on this symbol as well, on the sort of moon that's being gripped by the fist. That's amazing. And I love it when people do orc skin, but they put pink in it. Like, I don't know if it makes sense, but it looks amazing. Like the pink shadows and then the orc normal orc colour here, but then there's pink, not like pink in the ears is kind of standard, but I love the pink shadow kind of here, where the recess is kind of pinky. That's amazing. It looks really, really good. It looks really, really good. And look at the natural fade on this barrel, the way it goes from like the brown here up to the silver here, like kind of. There's so many things you could. Look at the boots here with the hand painted little triangles on one side and then the checks on the other. I mean, it just. And look at the shoulder pad here. Look at the checks on that. That's brush wizardry. Really, really impressed. Really, really, really impressed. Look at these blood angels. Like, look again at the weathering here on all of these. Look at the weathering on here. That actually looks like it's carved into the helmet. That little cut. If that's just painted on, then I don't know. But these are amazing as well. Look at that. Look at the work that's gone into the base. Look at the grass and the rocks and the skull and the sort of slab. These are really, really, really mind-blowingly awesome. And there's a real surprise to come. Something he said on the Discord, really nonchalantly, that's coming on the next slide. Necrons, first of all, the Necrons are really good. Necrons are maybe my least favourite of the things he's done, but they're still really good. Really bold colour choice on the Necrons. All these things are apparently whole armies. Like he said, a couple of models from the armies that I have, these aren't display paint. Like, I would look through these and I would literally think those are display pieces of the standard where, you spend months painting your one model and you enter into competitions and that's what you do. And there's a kind of a tacit understanding that there's that level of painting and that level of time commitment is so much higher. But if these are like 1,000 point or two, if you've got a whole Horus Heresy army painted to that standard, like, my God. Right? Yeah. If you've got like a whole orc army with however many orcs are in an orc army painted to this standard, like, my word. 2,000 points of blood angels painted up like this, like, my word. Right? These look amazing, and if this is what your standard is across the army, it's a pleasure. And all this terrain you've used in the background of your shots looks really good as well, by the way. And I appreciate how the terrain really matches the bases. Really good stuff. Really, really mind blown. Mind blown. Right, Redglare. Redglare's done me a what's his name? The knight has a name. Imperialis Rex, maybe? Some Canis Rex. That's the chat. It's written on the tilting shield, actually. Really good. Followed the box art. Really, really neat. Got everything just so. That's really good. I hate painting metallics, so rather you than me, obviously you love metallics, you've done so many metallics. The problem with metallics is it is hard to get them all 110% smooth, and yeah, there are areas on here where I can have a look and go, wow, well, the gun is a bit patchy, right? You can sort of see here's a few patches here and there's a few patches here, but the amount of time and effort it will have taken you just to brush on that much metallic onto a model this size. You know, you deserve recognition for that alone. And again, this is this is army level stuff. If you got whole army plus, especially if these go in the same armies, you got Custodes army, and then you got Canis Rex and his kind of sympathetic colours to the Custodes army. If you've got the whole army on there to this standard, they're going to look really, really good. They're going to look really, really good. Yeah, I can pick nits, and yeah, we all know that they're not as good as the last fellow stuff we were looking at, but it's still the effort to brush on that much metallic onto a model that size should be commended. But mate, do your bases. Like, they will look 500% better with something on their bases, even if it's just what I tend to do, which is stick texture paint on. And I know probably you're going to, and it's just people feel that they really want to rush to show things off to get them on featured, like on the video, but like, do the bases. Like, they will look so much better with the bases on. Just do the bases. Sully, not let us down. He's done 3. Sully did a real mix last time. He's done a real mix this time. I really love the Imperial Fist. Yellow's so hard. I had an Imperial Fist army once upon a time, and I, years and years ago, I don't have it anymore. And I tried to paint them, and they came out really orange, and I just wasn't. It's really hard to get yellow to read right. Yellow is something I might come back to. We debating having another hobby challenge. And if we have another hobby challenge, I'm painting some yellow for my Kill Team hobby challenge. But I don't want to talk too much about that because it might not happen. It's being discussed in the members room on the Discord. If you want to weigh in on that discussion, you'd have to become a channel member, and then you can have real input into the direction of the channel and the upcoming videos, if that's something that appeals to you. But, in these uncertain times, there are other ways to support. Just subscribe, comment, like, and I'll be happy enough. Back to Sully's miniatures. See, seamless plug there. Thank you, Sully. You see, seamless plug. I love that Imperial Fist. I think it looks really, really good. He's doing a kill team of them, and he said he couldn't bear to do an army of them. He doesn't understand how Imperial Fist players do it, but looks really good. The Wood Elf I'm really irritated by. Nothing at all with what Sully's done. Like, the hair is magnificent, the skin tone is magnificent, the robes are pretty good. The little gem on the top of the staff is pretty magnificent as well. I just don't like this miniature, and it's just a really old Games Workshop metal, and it's just not one that I she just looks really odd. Like, the head looks too long. She's obviously got the massive boobs, right, which is fine. I'm certainly not gonna be pearl clutching about it. I do occasionally like some massive boobs on a miniature, but it just, the whole thing looks kind of out of place. Like, I'm gonna be very clear, Sully. I am lambasting the sculptor of this miniature right now, not your paint job. And obviously, it's better than I could sculpt. But, like, you don't have to be an expert in something to review it. But this just looks like a weird flip book of what. Now, to say that, I think that Sully's paint job has elevated this miniature many hundreds of times. It's just not one that I would choose for a. So I guess if I'm complaining about anything, Sully, I'm complaining about your taste. But your paint job's amazing. It just doesn't look. It's hard to explain. It just doesn't look right somehow. Head looks stretched out. She's got big chin, like an Arnold Schwarzenegger chin, and then a massive rack. I don't know. I just don't get it. And the sword looks weirdly. And she's in that classic Warhammer, really flat Warhammer pose where you can really see the mold's been in two parts and pressed together. Really flat miniature with no profile as well. Just so many things land up in my head to annoy me about that one. But none of them are the paint job. And the bloodied, really simple paint job on these bloodied down here, but there are some things I really like about them. Bloodied in blood red armor, like why has nobody done that before? That looks really good. And I like that you can see that they're the uniforms under the armor very much look like they would have been their original Imperial Guard uniforms, like they've gone for that very real world, realistic colour palette there with the blood red armor. And I love the blood on the cleaver as well. It could just be blood for the blood god, but it's applied well and to great effect. These look really good, really, really good. Well done. Well done, Sully. Yeah, I'm going to have a look at Trons now. So Tron entered 3 miniatures. I'm a big fan of this Dreadnought. It's standing on his Plague Marine. It's a bit like the Plague Marine should be surely more mashed into the ground by the weight of the Dreadnought. But at the same time, it made me smile, and isn't that the point? Like, yeah, the logical part of my brain's like, oh well, the Dreadnought should really have squashed a hole in the Plague Marine, or at least pushed him down into the soil. But at the same time, there's a part of my brain that's filled with childlike glee looking at that. And in fairness, we're painting toy soldiers, right? So if it makes you smile, that's half the battle, isn't it? He doesn't even look like he's hurt. He just looks like he's having a bad day, and the Dreadnought's just like bullying him or something. I don't know. It's really funny though. Melter Gun and Lascan, I'm going to critique. That's right. I'm now going to critique your painted model based on its tabletop application. Like Lascan and Multi-Melter seems a little bit confused there, Tron. Like, you got your long range weapon and your short range weapons, so I would have gone for double multi-melter or double las cannon, but I bet this was built and painted before they brought out the kit with the extra weapon arms in, right? So you were doing the best you could with the tools you had available to you at the time, because these have been sat in my Discord for a long time waiting for me to decide to do a community video. Because unfortunately, it does take a lot of time, but also it has to be we are in a slow era in the pre Warhammer Fest slow news window, aren't we? Okay. Bastion, whose name I had to look up because I'm not a big Stormcast guy, but I really like him. Like, I really like the blue. It looks so much better in the blue that you've done there, Tron, than it does in the classic gold. So that's really cool. I like that. Is that using I say new, it's been out for ages, the sort of blue tinge, the Grey Knight Steel blue paint as well. And there's a wash gone on as well, but that's really, really good. Love the base. Don't know actually if that's his stock base or a hero base or a third-party base, or you've built it. I'm not... To the extent that I know about Age of Sigmar, I don't really know about Stormcast Eternals, so forgive me. This I know about, though. This is the Coven Throne. I love the Coven Throne. I've got a Coven Throne somewhere back there. I love the classic undead stuff. I love the colour choices on this. I love the one vampire in the blue dress. Kind of breaks it up. And this picture isn't really doing it justice. It needs more pictures. There's more on the Discord, join the Discord, but it's good. There's a bit of quick and easy contrast work going on the ghosts, but then everybody does that, don't they? Ghost contrast paint, fire contrast paint. But the vampires are really well done, and the throne and the blood really, really well done. The base looks a bit weird. Saying it looks a bit weird, it looks like one of the bases I would do. It's very flat, and then it's got some things on it. It's fine. But apart from that, really, really like the base just strikes me as a little bit unfinished somehow. I don't know. But I love the model. Great model. Good. I show you mine, and the base is exactly the same. So, I'm not talking from experience, but we've just seen so many beautiful bases so far today that draws the eye. And plus, you've shown on this that you can do it. This is amazing. This is far better than I do on a base. Just the rock. Not so much the marine, like with the rocks. Look at that. It's like, whoa. Kill Team Hungary. Kill Team Hungary posted 2 submissions. I don't know if Kill Team Hungary posted this just to see what I would say about it. Like, he's got a Death Company Marine here, and it's been dry brushed up. Like, there's a bit of etchalizing going on. There's a lot of dry brushing going on. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good for what it is. Like, a whole army of these look pretty good. Hand painted Death Company insignia on the shoulder pad as well, which is pretty cool. Base isn't finished. Kill Team Hungary. And this was posted on a really high-res photograph, mostly showing his disgusting keyboard, which I've cropped most of it out. Like, I've got a disgusting keyboard too. I'm not keyboard shaming anybody, but like, do you need to put your miniature on the keyboard to photograph it, or could you have moved it? You put a piece of paper. However, the main event here is, I love you, Greg. The main event here is the Sisters of Silence. Now, these are really, really good. I'm really, really in awe of the Zimbad will probably tell me, like, oh yeah, this is some well-known art college colour theory thing. But I'm really in awe of how well it's worked to have the pink, and then, like, I don't know whether he's done, like, a really heavy dry brush, or just an overbrush to get the gold over the pink, and then there's, like, pink showing up in the recesses of the model, but it looks really good. It looks really, really good. It's really, really interesting. It really, really draws the eye. It's like, oh, pink and gold, yeah. Yeah, I like that. Like, that's really cool. And he's got... I posted a couple of photographs of these, but this was the main one with one model really in focus that I can really talk about. So really, really enjoy this. Again, there's some more on the Discord. Join the Discord. I keep saying join the Discord, but this really is the join the Discord video, because these miniatures have all come from the community. You know, if you're a subscriber to the channel, but you aren't on the Discord, you're kind of like half... You're like half in the community, okay? If you're in the Discord as well, you get to like share your minis and stuff, and that's really good. Whopper, oh my days! Whopper never ceases to impress me with his masterpieces. Like, Whopper's being cheeky and getting a plug because he's put his Insta on the. I'm not going to read it out for you, Whopper, but if people have eyes, they can reach Instagram. If you want more pictures of this, because Whopper posted about 500 angles, go and look on Whopper's Instagram. There are loads more pictures of all this stuff. But oh my gosh, this is amazing. Like, I love the colours. I love the purple and the green, and I love the... But what I love most of all, actually, is this chimney pot. Like, it's funny, I always think what draws my eye. But, like, look at it. It's got rust going on. It's got soot going on. It's got a clean bit in the middle. The chimney pot and the feet, and they're painted one way, and then the arm. Like, all the metal stuff's painted really grungy, and then you've got the really bright, vivid colours of the pants and the flesh that's like purple. It's such a weird and arresting visual style, but it demands that you sit and look at the miniature, and it really, really works. And it's so far away from what I would do to me, that's interesting, and it really does kind of, hey, no, look at this. Really, very, very, very lovely Whopper. I don't feel qualified to give that many comments on it, really. It's just that good. And that poor sod with his Death Guard. Lovely Death Guard, lovely grubby Death Guard. I love a bit of Death Guard. I love painting my own Death Guard. Painting Death Guard's like an experience, because you can just paint and weather and paint and weather. And there are some bits that I really want to call out. Like, look at the weathering on this playing axe. Like, yeah, weathering's fine when you use various products, but this has been like, you got the bit that's obviously been sharpened, like he's trying to keep the blade keen, and then you've got the rusty bit behind where he hasn't, and obviously this looks really sharp and menacing, and you can see the rust trying to invade the bit that's been sharpened down. I really love that. But the thing that really struck me about this is, obviously he's gone to some third party somewhere and got this pink flora for his bases, which is really stark and it stands out. But what's really impressive is the way that the pink actually on the bases, it's echoed. If you look at all the tentacles, if you look at the tabards, you look at the little kind of intestine pipe things that Plague Marines have going on, that's charming. Like, the pink on the bases is like echoed up through the model, and that's really, really good. Yeah, if I was to give you some like feedback, I get the actual armor itself looks a bit washed. Like, it's hard sometimes. You want to weather it and you want to weather it down, and sometimes applying like a thinned coat of the base paint over the flatted area of what's been washed can just try and you want to have streaks and you want to have dirt, but I guess because I want to try and give everyone something to action on, these do have a little bit of that quality of looking a bit washed. And yeah, apart from that, really, really good. That's it. We've done the whole community showcase. Only done half an hour. Would you like to be featured next time? As I've said about 50 times already, join the Discord. Right, the link's in the description. And then there's a special channel called #CommunityShowcase. And you want to put your stuff in that channel, and by putting it in that channel, because there's loads more painted models on the Discord that I could talk about in the hobby channels, but by putting it in that specific channel, you're giving me permission to review your work in this way. And I always try, of course, the teacher in me, I always try and say, like, oh, these are the things that went well, and give you one thing that you can improve on. If it's just amazing, then I can't get. But what I don't want to become is like the children's television guy that just goes, everything is amazing, because then it loses meaning. It's got to be, I really do, everything's got something positive in it. You can call out the positives, and then something that can be made better next time. I think that's really valuable. If you think so too, and give you permission to review your stuff, stick it in the relevant channel. bit of random little housekeeping chat to go around here now. So the reason this video's late on a Sunday is because I was sitting waiting. I was sure today's video was going to be, the Gallowfall pre-orders are live. Let's talk about that. Nope. So it's Fest soon. So there will be a lot of videos in the week after Fest, like reviewing all the stuff we did at Fest and talking about the Kill Team tournament and the experience in general and what was in the swag bag and things like that. But like this Kill Team preview they're doing, there is a small sliver of a chance that the Kill Team preview is like, oh, let's look at the rules for the Beastmen. And it's not actually Season 3. And then people will tell me that I clickbaited them with the Season 3 is going to be revealed at Warhammer Fest video. Hopefully it's not that. And I don't know how they could do that for a whole hour. Maybe there'll be a bit of that, and then there'll be a bit of this is what's coming after that, right? That's what we have to hope for at this point. If you've enjoyed the video and you've been motivated to join the Discord, that's great. You could also become a channel member. It costs you a little bit of money, but even if you just click the members button, there's a special video that comes up in YouTube and you get a secret extra video, so that's cool. That tells you all the extra bits and pieces that you get. You can subscribe if you haven't already. That's probably the most important thing you can do, to be fair, because subscribers are amazing. And press the thumbs up button. All right, guys, thank you. Have a great evening. My throats are mostly recovered, but having talked solidly for 31 minutes is now starting to go again. So, back to work on Monday teaching the nation's youth. So, therefore, I will stop now. Have a good evening. Bye-bye.